Get ready to ramble.
Good evening, friends. Welcome to Ramblings of a Middle-Aged Card Collector, where we celebrate art, artists, and the journeys that make this hobby so incredible. Tonight is a true honor. Episode 22, Brushstrokes of Strength, Myth, and Fantasy, the Art of JulieBell. If you grew up in the 90s collecting Marvel cards, was ever stopped in your tracks by a fantasy art, or followed the legendary creative partnership of Boris Vallejo and JulieBell, then you already know just how much her art has shaped pop culture and the hobby we love. Because some artwork doesn't just catch your eye, it stays with you. For generations of collectors, of fantasy fans, that kind of power has a name, JulieBell. From iconic Marvel trading cards to gallery level fine art, her work defines strength, beauty, and myth for an entire era. So whether you're a longtime collector, an artist, or someone who grew up flipping through binders of 90s Marvel cards, grab a seat, get comfortable, and please join me in welcoming our guest, JulieBell.
Hello.
Hey,
really
how are you?
Here. Thank you. That was really, really nice introduction. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate your time. And this is awesome. This is legendary for me. I had the pleasure of meeting you at OAX 2025. That was awesome. We got to talk about your piece, The Tenacious Ones. Was that it? Such a cool piece.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, love it. I still think of it today. I have the picture on my Instagram. I'm like, oh, that was such an iconic moment.
Well, I wanted to make a painting that was like about video game players rather than about the video game itself, you know? So I kind of made it as if the girls in the painting were in the game, you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, you nailed it. You nailed it.
Great.
Because you've done fantasy art for video games. You've done for Sega games. Yeah. And which is so crazy because I played them growing up. And I always like, oh, the artwork on these games is so cool. On the box, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that's real cool. Real cool.
Yeah,
oh, there's
that was a fun time. Yeah.
Hey, Kasra. Thanks for joining.
Hey, Kasra.
Oh, Eric Grove. Hey, Eric. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for everyone hanging out in the live. I appreciate you all. So, Julie, let's get into this. I like to usually start at the beginning. So, what sparked your connection to drawing and the human form?
Oh, well, I mean, I always did love to draw. And when I was really young, I just used to like I did copy comic books, but they were like Archie comic books. They weren't superheroes. And I really loved just making drawings of different characters. It's like characters with different clothes or different costumes and things like that. And magazines with my kids or with my friends when we were kids. You know, we would make magazines and like we loved Mad Magazine. That was our favorite thing.
Fun.
We made our version of it, which is totally stupid.
Oh, that's cool though.
Yeah, it was really, really fun. And then when I started going to art school, I took a life drawing class, and that was like, wow, you know, big eye-opening experience to draw from a figure rather than from photos or any, you know, just imagination or whatever. I never had really, I mean, I had drawn from still life and things like that, but drawing from a figure is completely different. Okay. And I had a great teacher also. Jerry Newman was his name, and just a really, you know, really good experience with that. So it really, his whole thing was taking our studies back to like the old masters and like studying, like he would have us do master copies of their drawings so that we would just feel like we were getting like almost like a private lesson from like Michelangelo or somebody. You know, when you copy their lines, you're tracing what they did, not tracing, but you're going, oh, you're getting it into your own head, the lines that they made. And it makes you think like, why did you make it this way? And why did you make, you know, and it makes you feel like you're having like a private connection with that artist. It's very cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So, it sounds like an intimate setting to learn how to exactly what's going on.
And, and so we did a lot of studies like that, but then we had also the modeling class. And then, you know, I just actually, when I was married before, my ex-husband was really into Marvel comics. And so I kind of got into reading a lot of like X-Men and Avengers and that kind of stuff. And those were the main ones, like Thor. And I don't know if you remember this character, the Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love her. And Doctor Strange was one of my favorites.
Cool.
So yeah. So anyway, I was into those comics at the time, and I got the book that everybody should get, How to Draw the Marvel Way.
Oh, there you go.
That book everybody knows. So yeah, and then I was doing that, and I was going to art school, and then I had my kids, and so I was just kind of going to school and having my kids, and then later on, I wasn't married, and then when I met Boris, he showed me how to bring my artwork up to a professional level as a painter, and it just really I never had realized that I could be a professional artist. I guess I had always aspired. I never knew anybody who made their living doing artwork until I met Boris. Everybody that I knew who was an art person was an art teacher. And so to meet someone who actually made their living, with their artwork was like, it seemed like you get this look into a really arcane world that you just, it's so mysterious. Like, how does a person ever get involved with getting published art or whatever? Because back then you didn't have the internet or anything, and it was just like a complete mystery how to connect into that world. So anyway, yeah, he helped me bring my art up to the level, and then I took it around and started getting work. And really for the first bunch of years, I really was kind of like on the job training. Whenever I would get a job, it was like I had to make it really good because it was a job, and so being in the position of having to bring it up to the level that they were looking for just really made me work really hard. So yeah, that's what it was. And I just always had a love for this kind of art, like with it, that's based around the figure. And I really loved like Art Nouveau and like Mucha, and those things are, where it's like this beautiful figures, but it's also all this decorative stuff around. It's just, and I see so much of that in comic art, with the Art Nouveau kind of look, especially like Doctor Strange,
Yeah, it's trippy. I like that very much.
Yeah.
There's actually a new comic book that's been out. It's called Absolute Martian Manhunter.
Huh.
It's so like wildly the concept and the drawing of it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, this is one of the
Wait, what's it called?
Absolute Martian Manhunter by DC. It's one of the craziest trips out. If you like that kind of like the old Doctor Strange,
oh yeah,
very trippy,
like real psychedelic and everything.
Yes,
yeah. Okay, I love that.
It's so weird. You're gonna be like, what? I'm not saying you're gonna like it, but it like the story, but the art and everything, the concept, you're gonna be like, oh, this is really cool.
Loved, it was like Esteban Maroto.
Okay,
you know his work?
I'm not too familiar.
No. Okay. He just beautiful lines and just the way he did all this decorative stuff. It was just so gorgeous. But what you're saying makes me think, I hope it's like that.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it'll stand to those standards, but it's when you were saying the old school Doctor Strange, that's what it made me think. I was like, I've never seen anything like that style too much until I saw that comic book.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, this is so weird because it took, I don't know if you're familiar with the character Martian Manhunter, but it like took that character and spun it completely differently of its origin and everything. And it's tripped out. It's like,
I can't wait. That's fun.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah. I'm actually doing a Doctor Strange painting right now, just because I wanted to bring to OAX. So it'll be fun to show that when I'm there.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
That'll be really cool.
Yeah.
Love it. I love going into OAX, and when you were right there, you're one of the first, you're right. Like I was like, oh, there's her and Dave. I was like, that's awesome. Just amazing pieces on the wall. So very cool. Looking forward to it. Are you going to be in the same spot? Do you know?
I think they have it set up different. Like,
okay.
There's a different room or something, I don't really know exactly how it's going to be, but I I mean, Dave,
I'll find you.
Dave and I were just talking to Tatiana and Kazra and everybody about that the other day, to get sort of like a map of how much space we have and what we're going to be doing and whatever. But I know it's not the same exact room. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know.
Mhm.
Looking forward to it so much.
Yeah. 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 It's going to be really fun.
So how did your background in competitive bodybuilding influence your approach to anatomy?
Oh, well, of course. Yeah. Just, I mean, I think it kind of went the other way as well, because I already had been involved in drawing the figure. So it made me want to, when I started working out and seeing like my deltoids are growing and that kind of thing, it just, I see these forms happening that was really exciting to me to know that I could make that happen, and I was always a very physical person. I like doing tree climbing and gymnastics, and I didn't ever like team sports, like where somebody's yelling at me and blowing whistles and stuff. No, but like gymnastics was great, or my own stuff that I was doing, dancing also. I love dance. But anyway, yeah, so I really took to bodybuilding because I enjoyed the physicality of it. But then when I started painting figures, like even, now it's like I understand how, when you're lifting, your arm is going to do a whole different thing than if it's just sitting relaxed or whatever. And, I just think everything helps when you're making art or any other thing. Everything that that adds to the depth of your understanding of it is going to help.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
And you're incredible when it comes to the anatomy.
Oh, thank you.
Motion of, like, when you look at one of your pieces, it's not just a character, or it's actually, you can see it. It's in motion. There's something going on. The body's.
Yeah. Well, your body, and that's the thing. Like, I did study dance for a lot of years. I studied ballet and modern dance and tap dance and gymnastics, like I said. But I learned a lot about how your body is like showing, it's speaking, and how you use your hands and your eyes, and everything is like your energy is moving a certain way. And it really does help me with posing figures when I have models come to work for me. Dancers are absolutely the best, but other artists are probably the best because they really know what you're looking for. But yeah, dancers make really good models because they understand that energy line, that you're going for. And it really does add like a different kind of weight and movement to the figure.
Very cool. Very cool. We know Dave sometimes poses himself for paintings.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that yourself?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's
good to know. So in your past, was there like a moment when you knew art was going to shift from a passion to a profession?
Well, I always wanted that, but like I said, I never really thought that I could do that until after I met Boris, and then I could see like this is actually a real thing in the world. And before that, I had illustrated some children's books for a couple of people. It wasn't like through a publisher or anything. I just didn't know where to go with my stuff, to make it anything. Okay. But I think it was like, right when I saw that I could bring my art, bring up the level of what I was doing. And all of a sudden I knew somebody who understood the world of it, and the business of it, like just to say like, yeah, you just got to go talk to somebody and show them your work. And that's it.
Awesome.
And I'm like, really? Okay. I guess they're people, yeah, I think it really just right away, I felt like, okay, I'm just going to do this, and that's it. And I was committed,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Just got pointed in the right direction, and you knew
that's
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was there like a first big opportunity that helped launch your career in fantasy art?
Well, I think the first thing that happened was Heavy Metal magazine. I took some paintings to show them that I had done just as sample, because you have to do samples, and you have to do a sample, like you want to make a sample that is what they would do, what they would use. you don't just bring a sample of something else and say, I can do this, so it makes it where I can do your thing too. You got to do something that is pretending that you're already working for them. So I pretended I was working for them, and I made some paintings, and then I took them there, and they actually bought 3 covers that day. So that was the first time I ever went to an office in New York City. Back in the old days, we would go to their offices and talk to them, rather than any other way. And that was pretty cool to go in the office of heavy metal, just this grungy little office. It wasn't like you imagine some like Oz or something.
Yeah, right.
It was just very cool to go and do that. And what was funny is that on the next floor from where heavy metal was at the time was Mad Magazine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That was cool. It was like a real place. And I just couldn't believe it, because all my life when I was a kid, it was like Mad Magazine was just so great. I loved it so much. And I don't know, things like that just don't feel like, what is it really? You wonder when you're a kid.
Yeah, exactly. You think it's larger than life,
Yeah. I mean, when I was really young, it took me a long time to understand. Like, I would watch cartoons of like Mighty Mouse and stuff, and I just couldn't understand, like, is he real or what is he? Because I was like, I know it doesn't look like a movie, it doesn't look like a person, but it seems real, and I just couldn't understand that it was a cartoon that was made by an artist.
Yeah.
So,
we have that such a huge imagination when we're young. We don't even think logically about it.
Yeah.
We're just in that moment, or almost sucked into the cartoon, like Tom and Jerry are running around, and you're like in the kitchen watching them do it, as a kid.
mean, I said to myself, I'm going to marry Mighty Mouse. And I had a picture of Mighty Mouse on my wall. And the thing that's funny is, like, I always think of Boris as like Mighty Mouse,
Oh, there you go.
Bodybuilder guy. When he was younger, he was like really big, bodybuilder, but his little tiny legs just like Mighty Mouse,
Skipping leg day. He skipped leg day.
He always skipped leg day.
Hey, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Looking back, was there an early project that felt like a true breakthrough for you?
Yeah, actually, I would say the video game stuff came in right after, after the heavy metal thing. Then what would happen is that, and Boris told me this is what would happen to a lot of artists, and how they would get their first kind of foot in the door to the world there, is that another artist would get an assignment and they wouldn't be able to do it. So they would say, hey, do you want to see my friend's work? So that's what happened, is that he got an assignment to do some video game covers that he didn't have time to do. And so he said, hey, could you look at Julie's work? Because I think she could do these. And so they really liked it. And so I did those covers. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So one of them was the Turrican, and one was Hardball. And there was one that was a football thing. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, those 3 were the first things. And so then, it just kind of picks up from there. And then other people see it, and you get more work. So.
Yeah, because you did the horror game cover for Sega, right?
Yeah.
What's the name of it? Oh, man. I loved playing that game when I was in
Splatterhouse.
Yes, Splatterhouse 3. I think that's what it was. Yes. Great game. But the art on the box, I just remember it. We didn't damage that box because we're like, oh, it's so cool art.
Yeah.
And you did one for it was like a fantasy with like a barbarian and something on the cover. What was that game? Oh, I can't remember.
Gosh, I did a bunch of them. I did Eternal Champions, and
there you go.
I don't remember. God,
it's just so crazy how much of your art was around my generation that we were oblivious. It was just the art, and then you grow up and you're like, oh my God, this. It's just so much was influenced by your work, and at least my generation's pop culture.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool, and it's cool that we're talking right now.
It was a fun job too, because what they would send you, because at the time they couldn't make art like they do now with digital stuff, and so they would, over the video games, they would send you little just block pixels, like it was like if you had like a snowman made out of pixels or something,
Yeah.
and they'd say like, okay, here's the hero. So you totally get to make it up, you know, and you just know like, okay, he wears a red outfit or whatever. It makes you able to really enjoy creating what they looked like, you know, and I could have models that I wanted and whatever, rather than having to match whatever was in somebody else's preconceived art. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's so crazy about that fact is that or at least me growing up, when I would play the game and you knew the art from either the box itself or the gaming magazine would use your art when they were talking about the game, you know, like, and then sometimes you would get the cheap magazine where you could see the next parts of the next level or whatever. But in your head, my imagination, I was going off your art. So when I'm playing the game, I'm thinking of that character,
That's so
not what I'm
cool.
seeing. Cause it was what, like 64. No, I don't even think it was 32-bit back then. Sega was 32 bits. So like,
Yeah.
there was no definition of a character like you see on a TV now.
Yeah,
where you're like,
exactly.
that's the character in imagination. My
Right.
imagination was going off of your creations or interpretation of those 3 dots as a snowman. So.
Yeah, like what you were seeing on the screen, that's what they would send us. And they would say, these are what the characters look like. And you're like, okay, cool. So, yeah.
That's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun.
It's fun seeing these comments coming across. Somebody else mentioned they like the Eternal Champions. That's just, I love seeing all these comments. That's really fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming. So you've mentioned Boris. How do you and Boris's influence each other's creativity?
Oh, well, you know, we spend all our time together, and it is funny because like there's so many times that we will be working, like we have our easels in the same room, but they're not like where you look, like if I'm sitting in my space, I can't really just, it's not right there. It's like on the other side, and I'm facing this way and he's facing that way. So, you know, but it's just so funny because so often we'll work on individual paintings and then we'll get up and look at each other's things and we're like, we're using the same colors. This is like, it's just so funny. Like it's, I don't know, some kind of weird thing in the air or whatever that day that made this sort of move that way. I don't know. It's funny.
You guys are like on the same wavelength.
We really are. We really, really are. I mean, when he first showed me how he paints, and the way he would just lay the colors next to each other and then pull them together and this kind of stuff, it really just like immediately, like, I'm like, I get it. I see what you're doing. And then, you know, I tried doing it myself, and then he showed me like, you know, you got to do this and that, whatever, you know, and here's some things to watch out for and all that. And really, you know, helped me bring it together. But it was just, I really did feel like right away we were really on the same mental space, you know, like it was odd when we first met. It was so much like a meant to be, you know, cool. You know, I don't know, anybody out there who's had this experience that you meet this person that is, you know, there is something more going on that makes it where you were meant to be together. And there's like a weird, like, oh, there you are. I've been waiting for you all my life. It's weird. Yeah. Because it's just so comfortable, you know, like a weird comfort.
That's awesome, though. That's absolutely awesome. So when collaborating, how do you merge your 2 artistic voices into the one image? Well,
yeah, and when we collaborate, it really does become like we have a third artist, because it's not just like mine and it's not just like his. But he, you know, like we both just kind of, we don't really have a set pattern of how we get it done. You know, sometimes, you know, one person will come up with the sketch idea and the other, you know, it just depends. And then just tossing things back and forth. There's not really one particular way, you know, and there's a lot of times that I feel like, okay, I know this client, I know what they're looking for. I think they're going to want to see Boris's mountains here, because the way he does mountains is like, you know, nobody else and whatever. So it's like, I get to be the art director all the time. So
that's kind of fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
Put those mountains right there.
That's right. Give me the mountains now.
Well, that sounds like that you're sharing the same space, and that's a lot of fun. That's awesome. So we have a question. Do
Yes.
you have a favorite piece you and Boris did together?
One that comes to mind is the Aqua Teen Hunger Force cover. Yeah, we actually have that hanging up in our kitchen, and it's like a family portrait because like it has the what is it, Frylock?
Yeah, Meatwad, Frylock.
That's one of my sons,
Master Shake.
Tony. Yeah, and Shake Master is David. Actually, Shake Master was David, and Boris is a Meatwad, and
that's funny.
Yeah, and then I'm the girls there, and then David was these little ninjas, and then a friend of David and Tony's was the guy Carl in the middle, you know. So it's like it's just fun because it's like, you know, we all did this like a project together in a way because they posed for the things and then we did it.
Oh, that's
yeah, yeah. And it was funny. I remember the night that we were going to do the French fries. Like I'd never go to McDonald's because we eat really healthy, and we just never really go there. I don't hate it or anything. I just don't do it, you know. But
understood, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, there is a McDonald's right around the corner, and so we were like, we got to get some French fries to do this, make it look good. You know, we need some reference. So we went out to McDonald's at night, and we were there like, let's pick out one of those packs, you know, because they had them all lined up, and we're like, can we have like that pack of French fries, you know? And it was just so funny because people were like, okay, you want that pack? I don't know.
That one right there, and try not to move them around too much.
Yeah, don't touch them.
I need them to be just like that. It's so much fun. Thank you for these small little details.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we've all seen and love now is the annual calendar. It's become one of our favorites. What goes into creating that every year?
Well, they like to have 13, because it's 13 paintings. There's one that's in the middle, like a centerfold kind of thing. They like to have 13 paintings that are brand new, and every once in a while we don't have enough new stuff. Or sometimes we'll have done a lot of art, but we have things that we can't put in the calendar for one reason or another. You know, like if it's, I don't know, if it was a Marvel thing, of course we can't put that in there. We don't have a license for that or whatever. So, or if it's just things that aren't really in the world of the calendar, it has to be fit into that fantasy world. Like they let us do whatever we want as long as it's in that world, you know. So they don't want something that looks too modern day, or you know, they want things that fit with the theme that we have going, which is generally a lady and a monster, you know, or it could be a man, but you know. Beautiful figures and a monster is the general thing. Doesn't have to have a monster, but you know. And they like some kind of a story happening, a little bit of story and some kind of movement going on. So that's kind of like the guidelines they give us, and they just let us kind of do whatever we want, which makes it really, really fun.
That's cool.
You know? So it's kind of like sometimes there are things that were published for other projects, and sometimes they're private commissions that we're using in there. And a lot of times it's just stuff that we did because we're like, okay, we need 3 more paintings. So I want to do something with this. I've had this photo that I've always wanted to work with, you know, so I'm going to make something cool with that, you know. So it's really fun. Yeah.
That'd be really cool if you bought one of your pieces and then you're like, hey, could I put it in my calendar? You'd be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
At least as a collector, you know, it'd be like, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. And people are really happy. Like people who, they'll do like a private commission, and then it'll be in their calendar, and they like that. So yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That's like you getting a comic art, comic cover, like quality piece commissioned from someone, and then
it's on a cover.
And then it's on a cover. Yeah. So
that's cool. That
same ballpark. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, how does a painting usually begin for you? Concept, sketch, emotion?
It depends. I mean, if it's, you know, there's some jobs that you need to do a sketch for your client and show it to them. Maybe they come with a concept. They say, this is the concept. Okay. And then you make a sketch, and then you show it to them, you get it approved, and then you proceed to make the painting. But on the ones that are like, for instance, for the calendar where we can do what we want, my favorite way to do it really is to just have a model come and pose, take a lot of photos, do some cool stuff, just do something that looks fun, and then just like let those pictures kind of roll around in your head for a while and pull out a few that you like. What I like to do is pull them out and like put them on the screen next to each other, get it down to like 2 or 3 that are my favorites. And then I stand across the room and I close my eyes so that I wipe out everything from my visual field. And then I turn around really fast. And the one that grabs me, that's the one I pick. I don't even look at the other one anymore. And so then I take it. And then my favorite way to do it really is to just take that photo and then just kind of make something that it inspires me to make. I love doing it that way.
What a process. Okay.
Yeah, it's
really
fun.
Cool. Yeah. That's a fun way to do it.
It is fun. Yeah. And I mean, doing it the other way where you do a sketch first and everything, that's more like, traditional and more studious and proper, I guess.
Yeah.
But I like to be surprised by it. And so when I can just make it up as I go, it's really fun because it really does bring ideas that I never would have thought of until I'm halfway in and I'm like, oh yeah, this could be that. And I can have a dragon coming over here or do a whole other thing that I didn't even think of, and it makes it have a extra little like cherry on top, it's just really adds to it.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah. I mean, because it's basically you're working off of the inspiration when you're finding that one piece that pulls to you. So I like that a lot.
And your imagination goes more and more. And a lot of times, just like days later, you just all of a sudden you see something that just makes you have a whole different idea. So I like that.
Yeah, that's an awesome process. So where do your characters and creatures come from? Mythology, your imagination, or your pets?
All of those. Yeah, I love mythology. I really have always loved that. I remember when I was a kid, I saw the movie with Jason and the Golden Fleece and all that. And those things. And I just was like, oh my God, I love this. And like this really old movie of, what was it, Aladdin? And I forget the guy's name.
Sinbad or
yes, those things, right? Yeah, and anyway, I love those movies. Just loved those when I was a kid, and that has inspired me a lot. But I mean, Boris was really into mythology too, and it really, was fun when we would do things related to mythology and having a character that's already created, like a mythological character. It is helpful because then you can, grab onto some story behind this person or creature or whatever and try to get some like a little different kind of twist to why they're doing what they're doing or another day in their world that you don't hear about, like.
Cool.
Things
that's
like that.
Cool. Like a side quest.
But I also, I'm a person who like, I'm a little bit, what is it when you need far away glasses? You're nearsighted.
Nearsighted. Yeah.
I'm nearsighted, a little bit nearsighted. So I like to walk a lot. I love to walk. And when I'm walking, I'm totally in this weird imaginary state of mind. And I see things all the time and, like odd shapes in the trees and the rocks and whatever, and on the street and water on the street and different things. And it really gives me a lot of ideas when I go out for walks. Also just anytime I'm trying to work out a problem with my art, like if I'm having trouble getting something to look right, if I go for a walk, it usually kind of figures it out. My brain just does something different when I'm walking.
I can totally see that. When I'm aggravated or something, taking a nice walk down a nice path in the trees on a beautiful day, it really clears your head,
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
We have a question. Julie, what's one of your favorite pieces your husband and your son have done?
Oh, gosh. Well, I haven't seen all of David's. I mean, I see paintings of his all the time. I'm like, I never saw that. And also my son Tony. I don't know how many of you know Anthony, but he's really a great artist too. And when I see their work that I haven't seen before, I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. So, but to talk about favorites, I always do have a hard time with that. I can say the favorite of the things we did together just because that painting was hanging up in our kitchen. But a favorite of Boris's, there's so many that I just love. I mean, we have them hanging up in the house, and it's so inspiring to me. I have one that hangs right next to where I have an exercise bike, and while I'm riding, it's there, and I'm just seeing all these little things, these choices that he made, and it's just like, it teaches me so much just to sit there and think about that. It's like I would never have thought of, shifting that color that way or whatever, and it's so great. Yeah, but I can't pick a favorite. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, it's totally understandable.
Mhm.
It'd be hard, right? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally understandable. How do you decide when a piece is finished?
Well, a lot of times it's just because of practicality of needing to have it finished by a certain time.
Okay.
But yeah, you really could just go on and on forever, and you do have to kind of call it a day at some point, or you will probably hurt it over a certain line. There is a point where you might hurt it if you keep going, or you'll just keep going, and you'll just it's like, don't do that, I have so many things I have to be doing, and so many paintings that I need to be getting done, that I don't have the luxury of spending. I mean, I could, but I don't want to do that. I can't. I have to just move on. So it's really a lot to do with just practicality. And but I still like to, even when I think a painting is finished, I like to, if I can, keep it just sitting in the studio, because I'm sure that I will see something. If something just really, there's a feeling that you get when there's something that needs to be done and it bugs you. And so if you have that, you got to fix that, But if nothing's doing that to you, then you probably should leave it alone.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good advice. Good advice. Are there any tools or materials that are essential to you in your studio?
Well, all the brushes that I like best are the flat brushes, and I like synthetic for when I'm doing like backgrounds and a lot of bigger pieces. But when I get down to the fine detail, it's always going to be the Sable and like the Winsor Newton Series 7, which is very hard to come by these days. They're more expensive, but they're absolutely the number one irreplaceable thing. I don't know what I'd do if they ever don't have them. Don't say that. Don't even talk about it.
That's good to know. There you go. Good tools. Good tools. So,
there's another thing I like.
Yeah,
this stuff called oleo gel.
Okay, what's that?
Yeah, and it's like a gel that is made with linseed oil, and I think it's silicone particles or something, silica particles, and it's fumated. So that means it's somehow stuck in there, like
okay,
science thing. And so they made this, like it's made by Vasari, and it's really nice for when you want to make something really just blend in nicely and smoothly. And you just have it, you take a little oleo gel, mix it with a little bit of turp and put it on, and then wipe it off, just blot it off so you don't have too much. But it changes everything, and it makes the whole thing just go on so nicely. It's really a good product.
Oh, wow. Good. That's great advice. Good news.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of that. So.
Yeah, and it doesn't have anything sticky in it. So like some things, like I have a hard time using things that have some kind of a varnish or a resin or something in them that are for that kind of stuff. But the oleo gel doesn't have that. It's really just linseed oil that's been given it just this. It's a very, you would never know there was a tooth to it, but there is a tooth to it because of the silica powder that's in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's
and it makes it where it just goes on so nice.
Oh, awesome.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
We got another question. Do you ever use the golden ratio in your compositions?
I think it's just something that we all have in our own and stuck in your head. I absolutely see it whenever I apply it. I don't sit down and like make all the little like I've seen that done, and that's very, involved. And I don't see I think it's great that it works so well, but I do think it's just like a natural sense of composition is what it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, the human body translates well in it, right?
Yeah.
If you're going for symmetry and everything, the golden
Yeah.
ratios and a lot of parts of it, right? I mean,
Right.
yeah,
Exactly.
so,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
naturally flowing in your pieces.
Yeah. And I know that there are some people that really start out, making a nice structure and everything, and that can be really helpful. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
just, I don't do that. No, I don't do that. But I see it. I see the value of it. I don't want to do it. But I think it's just a natural feeling for it. I think most people have. That's why we like it. That's why everybody appreciates it when it's happening. So yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been loving your wildlife pieces.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, so what inspired you to expand into the wildlife painting?
Well, I mean, I always loved animals, of course. I had dogs and horses when I was younger. But the thing is that I was doing book covers for tour books, and they assigned a book for me that was it was supposed to be like a magic wolf and a girl, and it wasn't. I can't remember. Firekeeper, I think it was called, or something like that.
The series Firekeeper.
It was a series, yeah. And so anyway, they started with the one, and that was the first one, and it was successful. They liked it a lot, and then so they said, okay, we're going to actually have you do this whole series. And so when they said that, Boris actually said, because for the first one, I actually had just gotten a picture of a wolf from a book, and it wasn't, when I look back on that, I'm like, that wasn't even really a real wolf, I made it into a wolf. And so he said, why don't you find some wolves in the area that you can go and take pictures of, get your own pictures. And so it was just really weird because, like, I don't know, it was maybe like a day or two later, a week later or something, we went to this camera store that we would always go to, and they had this pamphlet for a wolf sanctuary that's just like an hour from here. And I'd never noticed it before. It's probably there all the time, but all of a sudden there's this, okay, here's the wolves, So I went to this place and got there on a very lucky time because the man who was like the wolves keepers, we did it like a special thing where you go like kind of like backstage with the wolves. We weren't in the cages where they in the fence where they were, but we got to go back to the special fence where you go if you're a photographer and you're paying extra.
Oh,
and
cool.
So you can have your camera, like you don't have to have the fence lines in the way, and you can be like they were like right there in front of us. And so anyway, the guy who was their keeper, he was there with us, of course, and he would do things. He got something made them get like really, all of a sudden they started doing this weird thing where they were like all growling and their hair was all standing up, and
wow.
they got on each other like this, and they were doing this dominant. I mean, it sounded scary, but he said, "Don't worry, they're not going to fight. This is just what they do." And now I've learned so much about wolves after that to understand that it is like just how they do their thing every day, but it's part of how they bond and they talk to each other.
Yeah,
I mean, sometimes they fight too.
Yeah,
they really
I
do,
love
because there were some of them that were damaged, but it was so exciting, and it was just so gorgeous to see that. And it only lasted just like a minute or two, if that. Probably wasn't even that long. But during that moment, I shot just a whole bunch of pictures and just saw this beautiful thing happening of these wolves talking to each other. And it really just like lit my fire for wolves. And I did the paintings for the books, but I had all these gorgeous pictures that were not really applicable to what they wanted for the books. And so I thought, honestly, I'm just in love with these pictures so much that I just want to paint them just because I want to paint them so bad. And so I did. And then people just started really liking them. So I did more. And then I started getting into horses, same kind of thing. There's some beautiful horse farms nearby. And, I love going out and shooting the pictures as much as the paintings. I think that's just spending your day hanging out with a bunch of cows in a big field or horses. There was this place where they had 13 baby horses.
Oh,
Can you believe
wow.
that? And lady's like, she's like, just come on over, go out, hang out with the horses. I'm like, okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. Little baby horses. I
I
like a lot of
know, they're
puppies, so
so
that's got to
cute.
be
They were
cool.
like, they were doing the kicking up and down thing, you know, it was adorable. Oh my God.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's just, you know, working with animals is really neat, and you get tons. Like, it's always going to be a surprise. You might get nothing because also if the light's no good or whatever, you know, it's tricky. But yeah, no, it's just I love it.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, did you take the picture of the elephant?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. Well, there was one painting I did of some elephants that a friend of mine went to Africa, and she took those in Africa, took that picture in Africa. But the other elephants, the one it's like a whole bunch of elephants with a girl laying on top, that was from the zoo in Baltimore.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Very cool. Very cool.
yeah.
Yeah, Perna, our friend Tony, saying the textures you get in your wildlife paintings are amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, they're beautiful. And I'm a fan of your wolf tattoo.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, there it is.
You
It's
know,
awesome.
Stefano Alcantara, do you know him?
I've heard the name, yes.
Yeah, so he's the one who did this. Yep.
Oh,
And he
that's
did
awesome.
also tattoos for Boris and me. Instead of wedding rings, we have tattoos.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Is he
Yeah.
out of Philly?
He's not in Philly. No,
Oh,
he's
okay.
he's from Peru,
Oh,
and he
wow.
has a
Okay.
place in Miami
Okay.
or somewhere
Okay.
in Florida and in New York.
New York. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
was thinking Philly for some reason because
Right.
I've heard the name up around here. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Oh, okay.
maybe
Yeah.
either Philly. Okay. But New York.
You're in Philadelphia?
No, I'm in Jersey.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I work in Queens. So
Oh, okay.
commuter.
Yeah.
I plan on going to IX next year.
Oh, good. Yes,
Yes.
that's really fun.
It's an
a
hour
really
from my
neat
house.
thing.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
It's an hour from me. So I was like,
Yeah.
I should have went.
I can't wait. Yeah,
Past
and that's a great. It's like a big reunion every year, you know, because like we've been going to that. I don't remember when it started. Oh my God, I have no idea what year that was, but it was a long time ago, and it's just like, you know, you couldn't not go. It's just we have to see our friends and everything. It's fun. Yeah.
Well, that's how I feel about OAX. So
Yes, exactly.
to me,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I gotta go. You know
It's
what I
such a
mean?
community, you know, and it's like it is really something. I think that the community in the fantasy art and comics art and that kind of thing is so nice and so much like for each other. There's a lot of parts of the art world that are not like that, you know, and yeah, and so it is really, really, really special. And I hope people appreciate how much they have with that community, because it's really not everywhere. It's really nice.
It is. It's something.
Yeah.
You know, and what got me stepping toward, into that was Marvel cards.
Yeah.
In the Marvel card community. I mean, you've been a guest on awesome channels that have inspired me to try to do all this stuff and everything. So it's been awesome. Everyone's just been kind. And then you get into the comic art fans and OAX and everything, and it's like,
Yeah.
wow, the community just expands, and it's
Yeah.
still welcoming and kind
Yeah.
and fun, and so,
Right.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's so great to feel like you really are among friends, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And comic, like you're saying, the comic appreciates the fantasy, but we grew up with comic books of fantasy, like
Yeah.
He-Man and Thundercats, and
Yeah,
that's sci-fi
Thundercats.
fantasy, if you
I
will.
love
Yeah.
Thundercats, right? Yeah. Boris and I did a He-Man painting once too for I don't know what they used it for, but I think it was in a magazine.
Oh, I gotta look for that.
Yeah, it was He-Man and then the Skeletor and
He's my favorite.
the mountain. What was the mountain called?
Castle Grayskull.
Yeah, Castle Grayskull. Yeah,
Word.
right.
That's so
Yeah.
awesome. I gotta look
Yeah.
for that then, because that's
Yeah.
crazy. I gotta look for that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. That's so cool. Because we love that stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, some of the guys I even know are into like Star Trek, but they're into the comic stuff. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's real sci-fi. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like we're all over the place, you know.
Yeah.
If it was in a comic in some shape, way, or form, we're game. We're game.
Yeah.
You know. So, and the fantasy
You know,
side,
we're so
I'm a big
lucky to have that as our world, right?
yes.
I
Yes.
mean, that's you're blessed if you've got comics and fun stuff in your head.
Yeah,
You know, you're not
absolutely.
having to think about I don't know what, but that's a nice way to live.
I think we were exposed to great pop culture growing up,
Yeah.
which inspired us or just captured our time and imagination. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we enjoy it. So we're
Yeah.
riding this out, which is a lot of fun.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so when I see a piece that you do and you post and you're like, wow, it's insane, whether it's a fairy or dragons or a warrior or warrior princess or whatever it is, I'm like, oh yes, and like I love seeing it. I mean, everyone else does, so it's pretty crazy. So one of the things I definitely run, I know we wanted to cap it like an hour, so
Oh,
just
yeah.
wanted to pull these in here.
Okay.
So what did being named the Arc Living Master mean to you personally? And congratulations.
Oh, thank you. That was like a real honor. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's hard to, like, I'm, maybe a person who, when there's an honor like that, it's like, it doesn't really sink in too much to me. I don't know why.
Okay.
I am honored. I am, and I feel really good about it. But it's like, I don't know. Things like that are hard for me to kind of absorb a lot,
Well,
Yeah.
you're a master artist.
Well, thank you.
It's a title well deserved.
Thank you.
So let's touch on some Marvel card stuff real quick while I got you in here. So what first got you into the Marvel trading card projects?
Well, there was a person who, in my distant past, had kind of given me negative feedback about their belief in how far I could go with my art.
Oh no.
Yeah, and that person, kind of was a big fan of Marvel, and so I really wanted to show them. And so it was revenge. And so I went to Marvel and tried to get work with them, and right away they gave me work. So I did the first things I did. The first things I did were Savage Sword of Conan covers for them. And
Okay, yeah.
then I thought, all right, because I was at the time when I was experimenting with doing this stuff that looks like shiny metal. And so I thought, I'm going to put the shiny metal in there with Conan, even though it doesn't really fit in his world. I'm just going to do it anyway. And I did this one of like Conan with this steel horse, kind of crazy horse attacking him.
Okay.
And they really loved it, and they used it on their cover. And then when they saw that, they thought, all right, we're going to be doing these trading cards. It was when trading cards were just getting started. And they had like the Silver Surfer and Iron Man and Colossus were the three first things that they had me do. And so they're like, we want to have you do these trading cards. And so I thought, all right, I'm really going to just like totally blow this out of the water and do the best I can with these things, And so it just kind of went from there. And I really love I enjoy the superheroes a lot. It's really fun.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it fits your style perfectly. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's just fun to have like, this little portrait of a superhero and like all their the costume things are just 100% designed to help the artist express the movement of this figure,
Yeah.
And so it really just is such a pleasure to paint. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, like characters already have like such a strong like visual identity.
Mm-hmm.
So like how much creative freedom were you allowed to have illustrating them?
Well, I mean, you have to stay with their character. If it's a character they've developed and put money into, of course, you want to, but, I mean, I can't say there was freedom, like do whatever you want. There really wasn't, but I didn't have any problem with that. I enjoyed what there was to do.
Okay. So it was just
Yeah.
like, do it this way in this costume and
Yeah, use
okay.
this costume. But usually they would say you just have them doing something active, whatever you want. And so you could kind of choose like what environment they're in or what they're doing in general, not always, but
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Was there ones that you really enjoyed or challenged you?
I mean, I really do I like doing the things with the metal. I liked like that one I did love Lilandra. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I always thought she was a cool character anyway. I always loved it when she would appear in the comic. But
She
yeah, and I had trouble with Spider-Man at first. In fact, there's an interesting story. There was a book publisher at the time called Byron Price. I don't know if they're still going along, but they had me do a book cover of Spider-Man. It was going to be for a novel, and they wanted Spider-Man with I can't remember how it was, but anyway, they wanted Spider-Man, and when I did it, I really didn't take seriously to understand Spider-Man enough.
Okay.
And I did a job, and I turned it in, and they said, sorry, no. Marvel doesn't like it. And I'm like, oh my God, no. And so I was like, oh, please let me just do it again. I'll do it for free. I don't even care. Just don't tell me I did a bad job. And so
oh my goodness.
yeah. And so I actually went to New York, which is like an hour and a half, 2 hours from here. I went there to go to Marvel. I'm like, you guys have to help me understand Spider-Man like now, because I need to understand Spider-Man to do this job.
Oh wow.
And so the guy talked to me about it, and he was like, okay, you got to just pretend he has no pelvis and no spine, and then you got it,
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah,
So
yeah.
Spider-Man.
You never really see that defined,
Mhm. Yeah, it was good advice. So, anyway, so then I did another Spider-Man, and then Byron Price was fine. They liked it, and it was great, and everybody's happy. And I got over my terrible shame of having done a bad painting.
Oh man. Well, what, that was like the one, right? And you nailed every other single one. So
That's the only one I'm talking about.
yeah. Oh, there you go. There you go. The only one that will shed light on.
That's right.
So what was like your reaction the first time you saw your artwork printed on cards?
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought it was very cool. It's an interesting thing when you get your things published, and I hear this from other artists all the time, that they are excited. You're excited to see it, but it doesn't hit you as much like a huge blast as you expect. It's not like you don't care. You do. You're excited and you're so happy, but at the same time, I guess it's just been so much time since you did it.
Yeah.
And since it was accepted and the whole thing, time has gone by, because it takes a long time for things to be made into the product or whatever. But
Yeah, that's a good point.
but no, it's very cool. Like, what was fun? There's this movie with Nicolas Cage called Mandy. Did you ever hear of that?
I want to say I've probably seen it. I've probably
it's pretty. It's not too old.
I like
and they had my artwork in that movie.
Do they?
Yeah, and it was really cool. I loved it that the guy, the director and the writer and he was everything, and he contacted me and wanted to have my art. There's like a girl in the movie who's an artist, and she does artwork, and they have my artwork as her artwork,
Oh wow.
So it's like featured kind of prominently in there, and that was exciting to see my paintings in a movie featured that way. That was fun. Also in the movie Galaxy Quest, did you ever see Galaxy?
Yeah, that's a hilarious
one of my paintings is one of the posters in their room.
Oh god, I gotta go back and look at this. Oh my goodness, because I love that movie. It's a hilarious movie.
Yeah, I love that movie too. Like the teenagers' room, they'd have like a poster on the wall.
Oh wow, I'm gonna like now go just watch it again. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
So if you could go back and give advice to artists working on trading cards today, what would you tell them about making small format art feel powerful?
Well, just it's all about your thumbnail, your shape, your main shapes, for something that's small like that. It's got to have a great silhouette, and it's got to be able to see it from very far away. But that's true for any illustration, like a book cover or whatever. It's really not very different. You just don't want to get too much into putting a whole bunch of little stuff. You need to make sure that it's pretty straightforward with bigger shapes.
Yeah, that's great, because like
if you have like a whole bunch of characters, and it's just kind of you're going to spend a lot of time. It's not going to get appreciated the same way.
Yeah, because sometimes the companies take liberties with covering the art or cropping it, zooming in, and
well, if it's just too small too, if it's like a whole bunch of, if it's just too small, it gets lost, in that size.
True, very true.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's good. Let's see. All right, so we're at an hour. We're a little over. Thank you so much for your time tonight, Julie.
Thank you. That was really fun. You're such a nice interviewer.
Oh, I appreciate that kindly so much. So we'll do a little outro here for everybody. Again, thank you for your time, Julie. Let me clear my throat. Excuse me. So Julie's art reminds us why we collect in the first place, not to own something, but to feel something. Her work sparks imagination, inspires creativity, and help define an era of fantasy art and Marvel card art. Thank you for spending the time with me. If you've all enjoyed this episode, please share it with another collector of art fan. Until next time, keep collecting, keep creating, and as always, ramble on. All right.
Thank you.